Hello, welcome to Pantheon of the Geeks. You join us for an unboxing of Gangs of Tomorrow, as I keep calling it.
Gangs of Commorragh.
Tomorrow.
The Gangs of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Here we are. Here is the box.
Nice little box set.
It is. It's the same size as like Gore, Chosen and
Lost Patrol. Yeah.
And same price. So that's pretty good. Quick picture of the contents, but we're going to show you the contents anyway, so we don't need to dwell. Get the box open. Have a look at the models, which aren't new models. If you don't know about this, they are the bikes and the Hellions. There we go. So we have new box smell.
Box smell.
We have quick reference sheets. We'll have a look at them. We'll have a look at the rules. They are double-sided, and there are obviously two of them.
Oh, cool! For 2 players. Obviously.
Yep. We have the rule book, which actually bigger than I thought it was going to be. So we have the rule book.
Nice
we'll have a look
pictures.
through that in a moment. We have a getting started guide. Let's move that out of the way. We have the constructions for the Hellions and the constructions for the bikes, I assume.
Yep.
Yes. And then we have many counters. Got a few dice. There's more.
Nice little box set.
So I said these aren't new sprues, these are the old sprues. There's lots of flying stands. Let's get along out. Bikes. And then Hellions. Sprues with a dent, but it's just a sprue, it's not the models. That's good. There we go. That's the box, and then we have this there in the box. So, have you got the counters? Let's look at this.
There you go.
Just want to look at the card thickness. Nice thick card. I don't know what that is, it's probably a turning counter of some type. We'll find out in a moment.
That one as well.
That one as well. We'll find out what all these are in a second. Have you got the spires on there as well?
Yes, the spires are there.
So these are the actual scenery that come with it. They're just card spires. I would have preferred them to be plastic and look a bit bigger, maybe a bit cooler. But hey ho. So I presume we just put them together like that. If those two go together, I don't know. But they just slide together. So that's how the spires go together. And they all look the same. They're just two slidey bits. And now we have all the counters. Brilliant. So we're back in 1 second. We'll have a quick look at the rule book, and then do you want to do the models first? Have we put Dark Elders together?
I think we have.
I can't remember whether we did or not. So anyway, these are all models. We're not going to put them together on camera. There's no point. I'm just going to have a look at the rule book and see if you need to put them together in any particular order, any particular weapons you need to give them, because obviously these being the old ones have got all the standard weapons you can give them for 40k. So we'll be back in 1 second with everything off these and everything ready to go. Okay, so we had a quick look at the robot. We'll show you that after this. We're going to go through the getting started quick start guide, and we have a
We've got the setup.
my only sprayed but unpainted Dark Elder jet bikes from the Flayed Skull and the Hellions from the Cult of Strife.
Yeah.
Undercoated but not painted up. I'm going to paint these now as a priority because I'm going to use these ones in. We're going to use these ones in the actual game.
Yeah. So this is just like a little start up that it tells you to go through to learn the moves and break turns, things like that.
Yeah. So we've got a spire there, and that's set up 4
inches away
from the jet bike, and the Hellions 14 inches away from the spire.
Basically, to make a move, as our game starts, the Hellion has already made its move, ending up in the position shown.
Yeah.
It's now your turn to make a move.
Okay.
The jet bike allows your Reaver to move between 6 inches and 18 inches. Note that you must move at least 6 inches.
Right, okay.
Use a tape measure or ruler to measure the move. Well, we've done that. So the models must move straight ahead, but the Reaver's jet bike allows them to turn up to 45 degrees before or after the move. So
I do want to turn, because otherwise I'm going to hit that, and if you hit something, you just get the model removed from the game. So having quickly read through the rules, it is a little bit like Necromunda and a little bit like X-Wing. Not exactly like, just a little bit. Got that little feeling to it.
Yeah.
So we have a turn.
So you've got a turn.
Which is this one, as
Actually,
you said.
sorry.
What?
He should be pointing that way first of all.
What?
My fault, my bad. I meant to have read this, by the way.
Yeah. You'll fly off this screen then.
Yeah, so his first action is to move the 45 degrees and move 4 inches.
Well, I don't want to turn 45 degrees now, or I'll fly into the...
But that's it though, isn't it? If you look on the little thing here, he starts off pointing that way, so he moves 45 inches, moves 4 inches, then he's going to move again.
Where's the spire?
The spire is there. So, yeah, he is going to fly into the spire.
Alright.
But he wants to go round the spire to get to this dude.
Yeah, but as long as there's not Emma move on it, I'm alright.
No, you won't.
But he's actually starting about there.
Right,
so he's 45 degree turn. He's 4 inches away, isn't he?
Yes.
So if I was 6 inches away, I would crash into it. If it's 6, I should end up on the other side of it, in theory.
In theory, but we're gonna do 2 moves basically.
Yeah. Okay.
So your first move is to do a 45 degree turn to the right and move 4 inches forward.
So I don't need to roll or anything for that?
No. You just move.
Yeah.
And then that'll take you up to the spire.
Yeah.
Where you will need to move another 45 inches.
So 4 inches up to the spire.
Yeah. Well, you'll need to move another 45 inches to get to this dude.
45?
That's what it says.
Does it?
Yeah, because we... So, it basically says in the full game about you choose a selection of manoeuvres and things like that. Break turn. This is where you learn about a break turn.
Alright.
So to make the break turn, you must roll 2 dice and add them together.
Right.
Your Reaver's piloting value is 2 because they are experienced.
Yeah.
And the jet bike's agility is value 7, so your manoeuvre value is 9. To make the manoeuvre successfully, the total of your roll must be 9 or less. If you succeed, turn your Reaver another 45 degrees to the right.
Oh, degrees, not inches. Got you.
Yeah. Did I say inches?
Yeah.
Oh, I do beg your pardon.
I can only move 16.
Sorry.
I've got turbo beasts, I suppose, but I didn't know I could use them. Right, so we're there.
Yeah, so say you've made the roll and you've...
So I need to take a roll. So my pilot experience is 2 and the jetpack's agility is 7.
7, so you've got a manoeuvre a value of 9.
So I've got to roll under that.
No, you must roll, 9 or less.
So an 8. Just did it. So now I can manoeuvre another 45 inches.
And then you're going to, after making the break turn, finish your move by moving the model another 14 inches straight ahead. So that's a total of 18 inches that you've moved there.
Okay. Is that the Reaver's maximum movement? Yeah,
because you can only move between 6 and 18. You have to move at least 6.
From there it takes like 2 inches away from you. So, okay.
Yep.
So that'll be a successful break turn.
Yes.
If I'd failed, I would have just flown over that. As long as there's an Emma movement on it, I won't crash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So now that's been sorted, we move to the attack phase.
Okay.
So after all the moves have been completed, you can attack. Your Reaver is armed with a splinter pistol with a range of 12 inches, and the jet bike is fitted with a splinter rifle that has a range of 24 inches.
Yep. So they're both in range.
Yeah. As a splinter rifle's special rule gives you a +1 bonus to your hit roll if your target is within 12 inches. This is best choice for this attack.
Yeah.
So the hit roll. When you attack, you must first hit the target to see if your Reaver manages to hit the Hellion. Roll 2 dice and add them together. Being behind the target makes it easier to line up a shot. Because of this, you can add 2 to the score you roll on the dice.
Alright. So he's meant to be facing the other way.
He's meant to be facing the other way, this guy.
Yeah.
So
I am actually behind him.
Yeah, so we'll just turn him around. Where was I? And a further 1 for the splinter rifle's special rule. In order to hit, you must roll a modified total of 8 or more or equal to beat the Hellion's agility value.
So I get +1 for a splinter rifle. I get plus how many for being behind him?
2.
2. That's +3.
Yeah. So
I need to get 8 because that's the agility of the.
Yeah.
So 9 without any modifiers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a total of obviously 12.
So when an attack is declared, the target is allowed to try and jink to make it harder for the attacking model to score a hit. However, jinking stops the target from attacking with its own weapons. So we'll assume in this case the Hellion decides to fly straight and level.
Yeah.
So you've rolled the dice. In a normal game, if you fail to hit your opponent, if you fail to hit your target opponent, would then get the chance to attack you. For the purpose of this example, however, you can try again. If you fail to hit the Hellion, roll the dice until you finally manage to score a hit.
Well, I've hit him.
You've hit him. Yeah. So the next is the kill roll.
The kill roll.
This will kill.
This will kill. We'll find out.
Yeah. Having scored a hit, you need to find out if the attack destroys the target or only damages it. To find out if the splinter rifles manage to shoot down the Hellion, roll 2 dice and add them together.
Yeah.
Hellions are more manoeuvrable than Reavers, but easier to destroy. Because of this, you're allowed to add 1 to your kill roll. If the modified roll is 10 or more, as the splinter rifle's kill value is 10 plus, you have destroyed the Hellion. So let's see if you manage to do it.
So +1. Yeah. 10.
10.
Boom. Boom. This will kill.
Well done, your Reaver is on their way to becoming a feared killer. If you fail to destroy the Hellion, keep trying.
Yeah.
Damaged targets are easier to hit and destroy and are less likely to successfully carry out manoeuvres like break turn successfully.
So the bikes are a bit less manoeuvrable.
Yeah.
The Reavers are a bit easier to damage.
Yeah.
And obviously the Hellions get that big sidey back left thing that they got.
Yeah. So that's just the basic.
So it's a basic turn. So it feels a little bit like you're playing X-Wing.
Yeah.
I like it though.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah.
So that's is that all the quick start, guys?
That's all the quick start, and then it just says about the full game,
having
the basics of moving, attacking, and the different weapons that you can use. So that just basically goes through a simple.
So the quick reference guide, the book makes a lot of references back to this. It tells you everything you've done. Sequence of play, ambush rolls. So before you start, there's a little disc with numbers on. We've got 1 or 2 of those. Got 2 of those.
Got 2 of those.
You put that in the middle of the table and you try and roll highest. But wherever your roll is, that's where you start. And then you can try and ambush the next person. And the difference between the rolls allows the ambushee, if you will, the person being ambushed, to make a turn. So if there's only a difference of 1 point, they can turn up to 90 degrees. If there's a difference up to 2 points, you can turn up to 45 degrees. If the difference of 3 points or more, you can't turn at all. And it tells you hit modifiers, so what you've just been saying about in the front arcs, rear arcs, etc. And then manoeuvres, so you can make like barrel rolls, braking turns, half loops, side loops, and those are Hellions and Reavers. Reavers can also try to drop caltrops, slash attack, and turbo. And the Hellions can air brake, grab, and turn and hook turn, so they can make an air brake move and not actually have to move.
Can you list lazily to the left as well?
Yeah, that is one of the special manoeuvres. You can list lazily to the left, and then your opponent automatically misses you in the next turn.
So there's a lot of manoeuvres that you can actually do then, isn't there? So
it has a good feel to it, just reading the rules. And then you've got the riders, Hellions with their levels 1 to 4. So this is all about building a gang, which we will do. The vehicles, the 2 they've got, jet bike and skyboard. And then the weapon types, Agonizer, Blade Veins, Blasters, Cluster Caltrops, Grav Talons, Heat Lances, Hellglaives, Phantasm Grenade Launcher, Splinter Pistol, Splinter Pods, Splinter Rifle, Stun Claw, and the Power Sword. So all the things that they would have anyway, that's on the sprues.
Excellent.
So they've not left anything out.
No.
And so they're using the sprues to their full abilities, which is good.
That's good.
But you need this for making your gang. So the rule book, we have some background in here as well. I'll not go through that bit. And then it tells you the contents, what you should find in there. So you should have attack markers, which are these red. You got one there.
Yep.
The attack markers, these red things here. And then we have the stunned marker, which is kind of like a cracked skull.
Which is on the opposite side.
Opposite side, brilliant. We have damage counters, which are the oval shaped ones with 1 to 3 on, and they're double sided as well.
Yeah.
Excellent. The jink marker is the red triangle.
So that's these things.
Yeah, and then we have something else which feels very X-wingy. We have the hunter and the quarry markers. So if you are, like in the example we just did, I was behind the Hellion. So if your front arc is in their rear arc, I think at the start of the turn before you do anything, you can declare that you're the hunter, which gives you a bonus to attacking.
Right.
So you'd put down the corresponding things. So you'd have the A hunter, for instance, and you put the A quarry onto the Hellion.
So that's that one. And
so when the quarry moves, you follow them. But you're also locked into that attack, so you can't then change to fire at somebody else.
So...
And you can have sequences, so you could be the quarry of somebody else and be the hunter of them. So the quarry would move, you'd move, then the hunter behind you that's attacking them would move. You could have multiple hunters onto one quarry, in which case the attacker gets to choose which one of the hunters moves first.
Yeah.
So you can have chain movements going on. So one person will move and then everybody can end up moving.
Wow.
So that's how the move sequence works. So we have arcs as well. That's something that isn't represented on the model.
No.
It'd be very good if you had some different bases with front side arcs, or just paint little lines on them or something.
Yeah, like a little cross hairs.
Because it'd be useful for that as well.
Yeah.
For the manoeuvring. You might do that on the base, paint little subtle lines or draw a little line on where the front is.
Yeah.
And then maybe where the side arcs
are. Yeah.
Something you get in X-Wing and in Armada and games like that. So, set up the battlefield. The battlefield appears to be always set up with these 6 towers, and you set them up alternately. So you roll, so you put one first, and then got to be 6 inches away from the table edge. The table's 3 foot by 3 foot, and then the other person places one not 6 inches close to that, but 6 inches away, and so on until they're all placed. And those are the spires, and that's all the terrain there is, just those spires. Because you're flying around in the air, and they're just the spires like the top of Dark City.
Yeah.
The fight sequence goes through that again, what I've just explained about hunters and quarries. Movement. You got your minimum movement. I presume that sort of represents the fact that they're going so fast anyway.
Yeah.
You got a minimum movement of 6 for the Reavers and 4 for the Skyboards. Hellions. And then you've obviously got the turns, which we've covered before, and the attacking. You have your attack markers, you've got your jink markers, and everything there. Damage markers, agility, and so on. Victory conditions, braking, and voluntary brakes. So you can obviously leave a fight voluntarily. And creating a murder pack. So, much like Necromunda, Commorragh, it's got that bit of a feel to it. There's not anywhere near the length of tables that were in those. We had tons of tables where you could get loads of different weapons. There's very much a light version of a campaign. I think it's got enough in it to be worth playing. Definitely as a campaign. We have some painted models, some good examples there. The campaign rules. We've got the pre-fight sequence, which has got the type of fight you're going to fight and subplot. So both players will roll a subplot. So for instance, you roll dice, I'll roll dice. No. Sorry, there you go.
Do I need another?
2 dice, sorry.
2 dice, I'll roll 2 dice.
Yeah.
So
for instance, you get 11.
11.
And I get 5. So your subplot with the intel. The player that rolled this result automatically wins the ambush roll by 1 point. If both players roll this result, rolls normal to see who wins the ambush roll. And now we get 5, was it? Low fuel. The player that rolls this result must roll a dice at the end of each round. If the score is less than the round number, then their murder pack breaks and the fight is over. They've run low on fuel, so I've had to head home.
Oh no! That's a really bad one.
There's a lot of scenarios where you might end up ending the game early. But so because you're playing a campaign, and your murder pack only consists of part of your gang.
Yeah.
Because you pick your murder pack separately. So, say for instance, you've got, at the start of the game, the player must secretly divide their gang to 1 or more murder packs. The more murder packs a player divides his gang into, the greater their income will be at the end of the game. But the fewer models they will have to play in the game. Sometimes you will get the chance to fight a large battle using your whole gang called a Sky War, which is on later. With the exception of a Sky War, each murder pack must have at least 3 models in it and can't have more than 10 models. Murder packs can include both Hellions and Reavers, though in doing so means that they will suffer a -1 modifier to their ambush rolls, which is the starting roll you make at the beginning of the game, and it's quite important.
Right.
Once both players have secretly divided their gang into murder packs, their choices are revealed, then each player randomly selects one of their murder packs. So the thing is, if you put all your noobs into one murder pack, and then all your good ones into one murder pack, and you randomly roll your noobs, they're going to get killed in that game, basically.
Yeah, they are.
So you need to split your veterans up between
noobs and veterans.
It stops you from doing that and having loads of noobs that just go out and earn the money without actually having to have a fight.
Yeah.
I mean, you might get lucky and roll your veterans, but is it worth that risk?
Not really, no.
So that's basically how so one of your murder packs will fight one of your opponent's murder packs, and the other guys will only come in at the end of the game to actually
support,
make income. Now, of course, at the end, you can then buy. You get income, which means you can buy more gang members, and then you can actually roll on the deals table. So you can get superchargers, vector thrusters, manoeuvres, slats, targeting locks, murder sites, and combat drugs.
Cool.
As I said, that's it. They don't have the long tables that you could get pretty much any weapon you can imagine in the 40k universe from Necromunda, which is really good, and I really like Necromunda. This is obviously a much quicker game to play.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if this becomes popular, they'll put more tables and more stuff you can have in it. Hopefully more races.
Hopefully, yeah.
Maybe you could fight in other places other than the Dark City, so you could fight other Eldar, or you could fight Titanium's discs,
yeah.
or something.
That'd be cool.
Anything else that can fly.
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be very cool. So I hope they do something with that. But for now, what we're going to do is that's the Sky War rules as well, sorry. So it tells you about fighting with the whole gang and ganging up on other gangs.
And you've got your roster sheet.
And the roster sheet is there at the end.
Which it advises to photocopy.
It does indeed. So there we go. So you get your gang name, your stash, which is unspent income victory points, player name, combined gang level, name and allegiance, that's where you have your Hellion or Reaver, level, vehicle, move, turn, weapons, piloting, agility, points cost, experience, skills, upgrades and other notes. And that's the book. Quite concise, quite quick to play. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go away and I'm going to make 2 gangs. And then we're going to come back. So I'll use any existing models I've got first, and if I need to make any models, I might come back and build them on camera. Might not need to, because I've got quite a few jet bikes, and but I've got 10 Hellions. Oh. So we've just doubled our Hellions with this game. So, yay! So right, we're back in a moment with our gangs. Okay, so we've gone away, we've discussed and made our lists, and I'll go first. Yep. So my starting gang is going to consist of the gang name. I'm going to decide a better gang name. There'll be some version of the Cabal of the Flayed Skull, because that's where they're going to be from. They're going to be sort of like joined on to but probably like a splinter gang. Cool. So all my guys are Reavers, because I love the jet bikes. I'm going to have an arena champion who's 160 points, with a jet bike for 50 points. And an agonizer for 5 points. It's a total of 215 points. He gets a skill. I rolled bullseye, and so he's level 4. And then I've got 2 lots of fresh meat, so they're 25 points each, with jet bikes for 50 points. They're basic, nothing added on to them. They come to 75 points for each of those, 150 for both. And then I've also got a killer for 100 points, who's level 3, with jet bike for 50 again, and with a heat lance. So the heat lance, and pretty much anything you can add onto a jet bike. So the jet bike is more versatile than a skyboard by far, because a skyboard can only have 1 upgrade. The jet bike can have 4, I think, in total. But each upgrade the jet bike have reduces its agility by 1, whereas the skyboard isn't affected by its upgrades. So there's a bit of a trade-off there with agility. I've taken a heat lance, so the killer with the heat lance, obviously the jet bike, is 165 points. And then I've got an experienced guy for level 2 there, and he's on a jet bike with caltrops, because I like the idea of dropping mines in front of people when they're chasing me. Again, that takes an agility point off him though, so he's 120 points. Then I've got another fresh meat guy who's also got caltrops, taking him to 90 points. So I've got 6 guys in my gang. I've got a stash of 10 points left over because that came to 240 points. And my gang level is 12. So that'll be my starting gang. Barring any changes, I don't think there will be any. If I haven't already got models that I've got those things on, I will use some of the jet bikes from the game. But that's kind of where I'm going to go with my gang, I think.
Right.
Okay.
Cool. My gang is the Cult of Strife.
Yeah.
Again, for now, unless I rename it. Yeah. I've got 2 Heliarchs in mine. So my first Heliarch is on a skyboard. He's got a Splinter Pistol, Agonizer, Phantasm Grenade and Splinter Pod. And he's got a skill of Trick. His piloting's 3, agility 8, and he's coming in at 215 points. My other Heliarch, again, is on a skyboard. He's got a Splinter Pistol, a Power Sword, Phantasma Grenades and a Splinter Pod. But he's got a skill of Bullseye.
Yeah.
Piloting 3, agility 8, coming in at 215 points again. I've got 3 lots of fresh meat, which just box standard, so they're coming in at 60 points, all on skyboards.
Yeah.
But they get splinter pods as well,
yeah,
for free. And I've got a killer who's coming in at 100 points. He's got a sky pod as well, and he's on a skyboard.
Cool. So you've got a stash left over?
I've got a stash left over of 40, and my combined gang level is 14.
So it's too higher than mine. But you got a bit more money left over.
Yeah.
You got the same amount of guys, have you?
I've got 6.
You got 6?
Yeah, I've got 2 Heliarchs.
Yeah.
3 lots of fresh meat.
So basically,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
So when we start a game, we can either have them as 1 murder pack with 6 models, or 2 murder packs with 3 models each.
Yeah.
So I've not decided what strategies I'll use. I'll probably have my arena champion in one with my killer and an experienced guy in the other, and maybe a caltrop in each, just to try and even it up. And then no matter which one I roll, I'll get some mines in there.
Yeah.
So
cool.
That's probably how I'll split them up. I'll do that. Then the other guys can be off, create more income for me and bang, so I can buy more gang members, etc.
Yeah, I mean, I can always split my Heliarchs up.
Yeah.
And have a killer and fresh meat in one, and then 2 fresh meats in the other.
Yeah.
To try.
So you got basically 2 leaders almost.
2 leaders, yeah.
So
yeah, and a deputy.
Yeah, basically. So you can split it up with 1 of the Heliarchs in each. So you get a Heliarch either way, and the other guys will be off making you money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good actually. So we're going to go away and we're going to paint up our gangs. So I think I've got enough bikes to cover the equipment that they've got on these. And then so I'll just paint them up, whereas Claire might have to make some of the Hellions up from the ones we got with the game.
Yeah. Which is why it could change from the Cult of Strife to something different.
In which case she might make the whole thing from the ones we got with the game and paint them some a different colour.
Yeah.
I think that would be pretty cool actually, having the gangs actually in 40k as well. So,
yeah.
Because obviously you might upgrade some of these and they might have more weapons than you're allowed in 40k as well.
Yeah.
So it might be worth just building them afresh.
Yeah, I think I might do actually.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Right, so that is it for today for the gangs of Commorragh. As I said, we'll come back with some gangs to actually fight a game. You see our first campaign game when we do that. I think it's 6 models each, so hopefully it won't take too long to sort out.
No.
And join us again for when we do that. Today we've also got the Sanzigor Enlightened video, because I crippled under seeing them and bought a box. So we're going to unbox them, stick them together, so stay tuned for that if you're interested in Tzitzit stuff. Other than that, take care guys. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. Please like and subscribe because it helps out loads. And bye for now.
Bye for now.